You personal?
Talk to me.
Oh, okay. On that offensive rebound, what was going through your head when you passed the ball to Cam Williams and made that shot?
I was really thinking, let me try and go score this, but then in the corner of my eye, I saw Cam Williams, number 3, and, he wears number 3, so, he shot the 3, and I knew it was good, but I really wanted to score, but then I saw, the little patch, his blonde patch in his hair. I was like, that's Cam, so I passed it. Yeah. And it was a big 3, went in. It's awesome. It's my dog. Yeah.
Did you know that half-court shot was going in from the second you made it?
When I shot it, I was like, it's a little left, but, it was a good, I got it high, so I knew it was kind of off the backboard, but it's crazy. My first shot that I think I took a 3 and we could have taken the lead, but it popped back out. I thought that was good, so I really didn't know. I was just waiting for it to go in.
So take it and make the shot of March. I mean, what does this mean to you?
It's amazing. Dream come true. I'm sorry. God just gets all the glory. I thank him because he's giving me the strength. To go out there every single night. Play injury free. And it was just awesome.
You talked about stepping up as a leader ahead of the tournament, but what did it mean for you today to have the performance that you did and really put the team on your back?
Whatever it takes. We did a good job of just never breaking. We got a second chance. Me making the shot and then going into overtime. That's what we were saying in the huddle. We got a second chance. You don't get a lot of those in March, so we got to capitalize and really capitalize.
Colin and Cam both talked about how your leadership skills have really helped push you guys to this next round. But for you to be the leader of this team in this moment, what does that mean to you?
It's a blessing, just being able to be the leader on the University of Kentucky basketball team. It's a dream come true, like I said, and I'm continuing to grow and get better at my leadership skills. But these guys really help me and make it easy.
How much does the mentality shift after you make that shot and you head into overtime? What was going through the huddle and what was going through you guys as players' minds?
Yeah, we was all dialed in, super locked in. Like I said, we got a second chance and that don't happen a lot. So we knew what we had to correct. Number 2 was getting off. He was hitting a lot of threes, so we had to shut his water off. And BG called us to go 1 through 5, and he did a good job of just cutting his water off.
Santa Clara was trading shot for shot with you guys. Talk about how much of a battle it was back and forth with them.
Yeah, Santa Clara, they're good. I mean, that was a thriller, so it goes both ways. They were this close to winning the game, so it went back and forth. I think there was like 20 lead changes, so credit to them for making shots and making it like super competitive. I'm just glad that we fixed it.
To follow up on that
on that last second shot of regulation when you put that ball up.
I knew we had no timeout, so I was really just trying to get as close as I can. And I got it up. We practice half-court shots at our shoot-around every single game day. So I feel like that was that coming into fruition.
Cam said he taught you that shot.
Yeah, talk about
It's crazy, man.
with all the lead changes and the close game. Talk about the tension in a game like that where there is no huge lead. Every shot is incredible.
It's a lot of tension. It's a lot of tension, like you said. Our urgency and attention to detail got to be super high, and it was for the most part. We didn't let the game slip. We didn't let it get too far from us, and it was going back and forth. So our urgency was really high.
How many of the close games that you had this season prepared you guys for this moment?
Yeah, a lot of them. I feel like our whole season, the way it went just prepared us for this. All the ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It definitely prepared us. We never break, we never fold. So why would we do it now?
What did you see from Garrison and Diabate?
One said we're in guard 1 through 5. We're going to switch. What made you feel confident, not just in your ability, but your team, that you guys could switch 1 through 5, even despite how well Graves had been playing?
Yeah, just like I said, just me being the leader, and be able to voice that, and my teammates, listen to me, and the method was to switch 1 through 5, and that won us the game.
How do you ride this momentum without fixating on it and letting it go into the next game?
Yeah, just taking every game one step at a time. We go, head back to the hotel, get some rest, get on the scout tomorrow, and take on whoever wins out of this next game.
Brandon Moe said you were Santa Clara's, quote, switching nightmare.
What allowed you to do that beyond your God-given athleticism?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I've been saying, I feel like I'm one of the best defenders in the country, you know. I can move my feet, you know. I take pride in defense. So, you know, my teammates trust me with that. You know, I show in practice, you know, obviously in games and stuff. So, you know, just doing what I do.
Brandon, talk about the emotion of Oweh's shot going up. What your thoughts as it was in the air and obviously when it lands as well?
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's a big-time shot. You know, he had a lot of game winners, you know, past year when I played with him and this year, obviously. So, you know, it's just what Ortega does. So.
Usually guys dream of making big three-pointers in overtime. You were blocking big three-pointers in overtime. Is that something you dream about?
I mean, yeah, just going out there doing what I do. You know, we on the biggest stage, the whole world watching. So I'm going to show what I can do, you know, and do it the best way I can to get our team to win.
You think you see that dunk on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little keep action. I saw he, you know, hedged over to the left, and, you know, I keep it and, you know, made a great time play.
Is there ever a moment where it clicks for you and says it's officially BG time?
I feel like it clicks on the defensive end. When I get stops, you know, block shots, or just like a little, you know, stop in my head, you know, that gets me going. You know, the crowd might not see it. Maybe like a good, you know, ball screen defense possession. You know, just little things like that get me going. You know, and that's all that matters. So.
Brandon, you guys have to transition to this next round now. How do you guys take this motion and take the momentum into this next game?
Yeah, like we said, just one step at a time. You know, like you climbing the stairs. You know, you're not trying to skip the stairs. So, you know, we taking one game at a time. So, you know, got that one out the way and moving on and go watch the game and see who wins this next one. So.
How many times are you going to watch these highlights today?
A lot, you know. I feel like it's my first real body, so, you know, I'm going to soak it in. So, yeah.
Thanks, DJ.
Time's up, folks. Thank you very much.
Hands, I knew it was going in, so it was definitely one of those March moments.
What do you say about your first taste of March? You grew up watching it. You talked about the memories that you grew up, the 2012 Final Four and stuff. How's this live up to the expectations?
It's crazy. Crazy experience, fun atmosphere, and survive in advance. That's what we live by.
I guess how would you evaluate your performance today, first ever time playing in this format?
Not good. It wasn't a good performance. But I had BG, and BG really stepped up today. So I'm grateful for him.
Self-reflecting, what do you feel like you can do better Sunday?
I just got to be better. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to change anything about it. I just got to be better.
Is there something to be said though about kind of getting the first one out of the way, and you know it can only go up from here?
Yeah, you know, like I said earlier, survive in advance now, and we just have to be ready come Sunday. We're playing a new team, you know, the winner of Iowa State and Tennessee State, so we just got to go back, get our bodies ready, and be ready for the next game.
How would you evaluate, you know, how BG played and Mo as well? Though those two really stepped up late.
No, those were key factors in the game today. They stepped up big, especially in those late couple minutes, and especially in overtime. They stepped up big time. BG being able to switch on the guards and getting those back-to-back blocks. I think that was kind of the game saver right there. So BG's the best defensive switching big in the country, and he proved that today.
Was there at any point late in that second half or overtime there was doubt like this might end as soon as it just started?
No, I don't think there's ever any doubt. We know what we came here to do, and we're not finished yet, and we survived today, and now we're advancing. So,
was there anything that popped up today that didn't pop up on the scout? Like, did anything surprise you that Santa Clara did that didn't pop up on scout?
No, we talked about a lot of it. There were some things that were a little different, but, you know, those are game time adjustments, and we got to be able to adjust in the game. So I think just being able to make those game time adjustments and being able to make them in real time, I think that'll be our next step.
How big, Oweh, you know, the shot, the performance, the leadership, how big was he for you guys today?
Very big. Just having that moment, you know, now he's going to be remembered in March forever. So just him having that shot gave us a chance at overtime, and then they just took him and BG and Mo just took over in overtime. So
Cam said that Ortega kind of called a shot earlier in the day, said that this, you know, I was going to have one of those types of performances.
No, he did. He said today was his day, so and he proved it. I mean, like 35, 36, something like that. So that only goes to show that he came to hoop today.
Jalen Lowe was pretty vocal in the kind of the huddles. Can you just talk about the intensity he brought? Obviously, he's not able to play on the court with you guys, but just kind of the leadership he can bring.
Even though he's not able to play, he's still a point guard, and you know, most teams they always listen to their point guard. So just having his voice around and being able to hear him, just it definitely gives us more eyes because he's kind of seeing everything on the bench. So just having his input, it makes the game move a lot smoother.
You mentioned something like play like you're doing tomorrow.
Exciting. I mean, they're not too great to hit a shot, but I mean, it's March. Anything can happen in March. The game's never over until it's 0 seconds on the clock. So I'm glad we were able to pull the win out and get ready for Sunday.
I'll take a shot right there at the end of regulation. How big was that? What was going through your mind when that happened?
I mean, it's a pretty big shot. I mean, it's either you make it and we move on, or we miss it and go on. So it was an amazing shot. I'm glad that I was able to teach him that kind of shot too. So it was awesome.
He had a new career high, 35 points. Did it feel like he maybe had a different sense of urgency today? Or, he's always in the score column, but 35 is incredible.
Yeah, he was telling us before the game, it's when I go home. So he said he was, ready to lay it all down. And he did just that. Having a leader for a team like that definitely makes everyone around him way better, because we want to eventually play up to the way that he plays. So I'm glad that we have a player like that on our roster, and we go ride or die with him the rest of the season.
What was the tension like? Because you hit a big three-pointer as well.
I mean, it wasn't really like tense. I was pretty ready to go. So I'm glad he found me on the rebound, kicked it out. He trusted me enough to pass it out. We initially were going to dribble it out, reset, but I mean, he trusted me enough to shoot it, and they tell me all the time to shoot, so I just shot it and went in.
Did it live up to the hype, growing up as a kid, wanting to be a part of this, and now you're a part of it?
There's multiple videos on YouTube, like craziest buzzer beater, stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna be in one of the videos coming forward, or leading forward to the rest of the tournament. But hopefully we don't have endings like that all the time, so that we can build a comfortable lead, hold on to it. So, but I mean, it's March, anything can happen. So I'm glad that we were able to take this.
Yeah, would you about BG's play today? I think he had 6 blocks. Seemed like he provided some tremendous energy off the bench for y'all.
BG, he definitely adds a great switch vibe with everyone. We know that he's the best switch big in the country, in my opinion at least. And I'm glad that he was able to show that in this game. And because if he plays like that, I really don't see anybody beating us. So having a big like that makes everyone versatile. You can switch everywhere. So I'm more than happy that you play like that, for sure.
Same with Mo as well. Kind of put the team on his back a couple times that late.
Yeah, Mo, he's another one. Great rebounder, great rim finisher for sure. Hit a big 3. Just having guys like that at the forward and 5 spot definitely give us better defensive schemes we can use against teams, because most bigs are not able to switch. It might be slow feet or something like that, but we have agile bigs, so definitely makes our job easier as guards.
BG said in one of the huddles, hey, we're getting killed on the pick and pop. Let's just guard 1 through 5. I can guard any of these guys. Did you get to hear when BG stepped up and said that?
Yeah, I was sitting right there. He definitely. I just told him that he's the best switch big in the country. He can guard 1 through 5, and he showed that out there. I think he had 2 clutch blocks at the end of the game. So having a mobile big like him definitely makes everything easier.
What was Coach Pope's message at half? Because especially the latter part of that first half, you guys kind of went cold and we're struggling to get offense going against Santa Clara.
We were just saying we need a rebound. We allowed them to get more rebounds than they really should have got, and they got second chance points because of that. And if we were to take away, we limited them as best we can. They're a great team. They adjusted just like we did, and we just came out with the win. So hats off to them.
Talked about Mo and BG a couple times now. Just having those guys come off the bench, having that kind of bench presence in a game like this against a team like that, what does that do for you guys, and how did it, the role that it played in you guys coming out with the win today?
Definitely gives us better rotations. Most people, like I said earlier, don't have bigs that can really move like that. So you can put a agile big, but you're losing defense. They're gonna get rebounds, but they're not gonna be able to move like ours can. So having backups like that to Mally and AJ definitely give us a lot more. All of them can guard 1 through 5, but just having 2 more people outside of that definitely makes everybody's job easier.
They say winning the first one is always the toughest. How much confidence does this give you going into Sunday?
It definitely gives us a lot, because it was, like I said, win or go home, and we were blessed to win the game. So the guys playing moved us on to the next round, take care of business, and feel like we'll get the win. Wow. Where's this Oweh kid at?
How big were
was trying to get caught.
What was going through your mind when that thing went up?
Well, it went up. It was just a hope and a prayer from his teammates. He probably maybe knew it was good. We were just like, man, because there's 2 seconds there where it's like devastation, where it's like they just hit a shot. 2 seconds, we gotta heave one, where it's like full of emotions. It feels like it goes slow motion. Where it's like, man, we could be going home, but it was destiny.
What was the intensity like out there? Because it looked unbelievable from the stands.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make it up. March, first game, everyone's fighting for their season. It's win or you're not playing basketball for the next 6 months or whatever it is, and so very intense.
How does it feel to just have another day, have another game coming up on Sunday?
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to get another few days with these guys, and we get to continue to prepare for another team and play together, and so I'm grateful for that.
Well, random one here. They were talking on the pregame broadcast about the balls. Are they different than what you're used to shooting with, and does that affect the shooter?
I mean, they're different balls than what we played with all year, but they're shooting with them too. You just gotta figure it out. I don't have any complaints about the balls. I mean, I didn't have as many going as I would have liked to today, but I don't attribute that to the ball. There's a few things that I'm going to do better on Sunday.
How tough was it?
It almost feels cliche at this point to say that everything in the regular season was leading up to this moment, but all those close games, all those back and forth games, how much did that help you guys to kind of keep your composure when this one got close?
Yeah, well, we talked about that at halftime is we have experience with adversity. We have experience with things not going exactly how we want them to, whether that's for good or for bad. We've had those experiences, and so I think that obviously helped us. It's going to help us in this tournament.
How tough was it when you're bleeding from your arm, you've got a scratch on your face? It was a pretty rough game, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They're a physical team. We knew that, and I just hope they're a little bit battered and bruised as well.
Can you speak a little bit about both BG and Mo? It feels like they gave you guys like a real pop off the bench, and I think BG had 6 blocks, Mo with a ton of rebounds and physical play. Just what did those two guys offer you guys today?
Huge. I mean, it was great on when we could switch with BG. Obviously, the last two stand out, but I think they also did great when we were switching. And I remember a few times that I was a mismatch in the post, and we had a few guards guarding their big men, and so the help and they had a few blocks in those plays, and those plays are huge. When we don't have to rotate, we can play one-on-one and have somebody come be late and contest the shot. Those things are huge for us.
Yeah, Cam had mentioned that as well, just like the value that a switching big has, and that's something that maybe not every team at this stage of the postseason has. I guess, how does that change what you guys are able to do, especially defensively, having that kind of mobility with your big men?
Yeah, I mean, we trust them a lot, and having someone like that it just helps when we can switch it up, right? A lot of I think some teams struggle with that, is we can't switch it up because we don't have bigs that can guard the perimeter, but having one that can is great.
I know you've only had a couple minutes to digest the ending of that game. Should we have been surprised at all? Because this is the team that kind of has become infamous for having these wild, unthinkable endings.
I mean, I think every time it's sorry. Thanks. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I feel. I don't know. It was surprised. It just kind of felt like it was meant to happen. It was kind of how it felt when it happened. It was like, okay, and it gave us a big boost going into overtime, a lot of momentum. So unbelievable to live through it.
You had mentioned yesterday kind of having a extra motivation, especially with guys like Otega and Denzel trying to extend their college careers. For Otega in particular, that sort of performance, how was he able to kind of take over the game, especially down the stretch, and just, I guess, kind of enforce his will on the offensive end?
He's so physical and he's so strong that when he gets downhill, I even think they tried to bring help. and he's so physical, and he's got great touch, and if he's not getting to the rim, they're fouling him, and so it's just a hard assignment for any team really. And Oweh played an exceptional game today.
Colin, how many places are you bleeding from? How rough was that game?
I'm not sure. I hope you guys get to go to their locker room and they're bleeding a little bit. That's my hope.
We already asked this, but just what was going through your mind on that kind of end of regulation play with Ortega?
It was a long 2 seconds, like a little bit of devastation when they hit the shot, but it was it was a long 2 seconds, but it was a little bit of a roller coaster when it went in. So I'm just glad it did. I'm grateful it did. I'm grateful that I get to continue to play.
What were you thinking though when it left his hand? You're like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen.
And I don't know. I'm from the side, so I can't really see if it's online or anything. I was just waiting to see what happens.
So you didn't even have an angle.
No, I was right. I was like on the midline really, so I couldn't see if it was online or not. But I don't know if did you ask him if he thought it was going in?
I haven't.
Yeah, that was.
Not that it matters.
Awesome.
Do you think he was banking on purpose?
You'll have to ask him. He probably was. Knowing he probably was.
They say that winning the first one is the toughest. How much confidence does it give you to kind of get the monkey off your back for this season and survive?
Yeah, there was a lot of energy at the start of the game. They kind of put some rebounding, and so they set the tone of they're here to win or go home, and so we got a little bit of taste of that, and we're ready Sunday. It's nice to get the first one out of the way, and get our feet under us a little bit.
I'm just curious.
I feel very confident with him whenever he gets a switch on a guard or anybody. I know he can always get a stop.
Did he ask everybody, like, hey, let's switch five? Did he say that in the huddle?
Yeah, he always is the guy that wants to switch 1 through 5 because he wants to showcase that he can move his feet and guard anybody on the perimeter, inside, or wherever.
For you personally, were there nerves subbing in for the first time in the NCAA tournament?
Nah, not really. I didn't really play that much, so I didn't really have that many nerves. Just getting up and down the court and doing whatever I can to impact winning.
But what was it like just stepping on that court for the first time and seeing the lights and everything?
It just felt normal, honestly. Playing in Rupp Arena for a whole season, it gets you used to bright lights and a lot of fans. So I was always confident while I'm out there.
How many of those late games that you guys won throughout the season gave you that preparation for today, where you were saying it was never really over?
Yeah, a lot. Like I said, we've been down a couple times this season, but we always fought through until the last possession, until the clock hit 0. So this is just another showcase of that type of performance that we have, and that we can always come back no matter what.
You think they did anything out there that kind of surprised you guys, that when you guys had scout, didn't show up on film?
Nah, not really. We knew we had to take away the three-point shot. We may not have done that to perfection, but we did it enough to, get us to the next round, so we survived.
What does it mean to get to the next round?
It means a lot, but it also means, it's back to 0-0, so we're going to recover and game plan and then prepare for the next game.
For you personally, was there any doubt? Did it ever come in your mind, hey, this run might be over as soon as it just started?
No, never any doubt. I'm confident with my guys. We all are led with faith, so, we put it in the guys' hands and then we take care of the rest of it, so it was never any doubt.